Manchester United 3, Leicester 0, and Ruud van Nistelrooy has been here for 4 games. But you know what? He can leave those 4 games on a high. Amad Diallo incredible today. Mazraoui bargain of the season. Ugarte absolute beastful performance. Bruno Fernandes excellent. Good goal from Garnacho as well. There is a lot of positives to talk about in regards to today's performance, guys. So please hit the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. And we're going to talk about what we've learned from Manchester United versus Leicester. 4 games, 3 wins, 11 goals scored, 3 goals conceded, 2 clean sheets, undefeated under Ruud van Nistelrooy. And do you know what? That helps get us up the table. We're still in 13th, but we're in a point now where we're only just behind Tottenham. If Arsenal or Chelsea lose today, whoever loses, we're only going to be 3 points behind them, and both of them have had much better starts to the season than us. Maybe Arsenal have dropped off a bit. I think we're in a position where actually we're only 4 points off the top 4 when Amarin comes in. Could be a little bit more depending on who wins in the Arsenal-Chelsea game. But Amarin comes in at a good time. And my general thoughts on the match, before I get into detail about each player, was that Mazraoui and Bruno Fernandes were all absolutely excellent today. I thought Ugarte was really good. Ground coverage, ball-winning ability, smart, simple passes. I think overall, I'm not going to lie, we lacked intensity. Even with the win, it didn't feel like we got out of first gear. It was boring. I'll be honest, that second half was boring. We were the better team, and yeah, we probably deserved to win that game. You know, we were the better team, but I was like, nah, I'm bored. I'm bored at points in this game because I felt that other than Ahmad and Bruno, that I didn't see that running and desire for other players on the pitch. And intensity is so important to Ruben Amorim's system that I hope we see a bit more of that. Ugarte gave some intensity as well, but I did feel like the performance was good, but we lacked that intensity. I felt like we weren't even in second gear, and I felt if we were in second gear, we could have scored 5 because Leicester were crap. Anand did have to make a few good saves. I thought Diallo's one defender was a bit shaky. I thought Ugarte was really good, ground coverage, winning the ball, smart and simple passes. I think what he does often gets overlooked because it is the simple things. Garnacho scored a great goal, always makes an impact off the bench. I think he gets too much criticism. I wanted Garnacho to be benched today. I wanted Rashford on the left, Ahmed on the right. Rashford wasn't bringing that intensity, he wasn't taking on his man, he was playing a bit like Sancho, and Garnacho coming on was the right decision. But I think if you manage Garnacho's minutes, but sometimes he starts, sometimes he's on the bench, I think he's way more impactful when he's a bit fresher. I think with Garnacho, he's not the finished article, he can give the ball away, he's not the best finisher, decision making can be silly, but he's 20 years of age. You've got to look at some of the most elite players in football at age 20 and say, yeah, they weren't the finished article either. He has the attributes to be a good player, the athleticism, the pace, the intensity. He has the attributes. He's just got to improve how he holds off defenders. You see Ahmad in tight spaces, how he could actually use his body to sort of push off defenders, and Ahmad's got that bit of strength. I think Garnacho can improve on that. He could improve in his ability to create separation. But I think there's a very good player in Garnacho, and I think if we can develop some of his weaker traits, I think he can be a top level player, and I think he is impactful, and I like him. But yeah, I would have liked Rashford to take more risks. I felt he lacked that intensity today. It wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? Højlund, we couldn't get involved in the game. Touch was a bit poor. I like Højlund. I like Rashford. They're 2 players I rate. But we need to, 1, get Højlund more involved, but 2, we need to see more from them. But look, the man of the match today, I think, it's between Bruno Fernandes and it's between Ugarte for me. But I think maybe we have to give it to Bruno Fernandes. Since Ten Hag's been sacked, Bruno Fernandes has been unbelievable. He was really struggling at the start of the season, but these last 3-4 games, he's really stepped up and hit the mark. 1 goal, 1 assist, 7 key passes today. You could argue 2 goals with the header, but it does go down as an own goal. A 9.1 SOFA score rating, but you know, it was involved in every goal we scored today. Was absolutely fantastic. You know, the passes was on for him, the shots was on for him. I think now he's scored 1, he's got that confidence, his shooting's better because the header could technically be his second goal, was an own goal. The run, the movement, he was allowed to play closer to goal. He was allowed that freedom today because Casemiro and Ugarte were going to do the dirty work and some of the running behind him. And we got to see the real quality of Bruno Fernandes today. He was absolutely everywhere. To mark his 250th appearance with this kind of performance, that is a performance from Bruno Fernandes we want to see. And I think he's a player that, yeah, there was a period in the season where I was like, I don't think Bruno's the problem. I would never say Bruno's the problem. And everyone kept saying that Bruno's the problem. And, you know, Bruno was making us play worse because he kept giving the ball away. And I said, that's silly. Bruno's not the problem. But there was a part where Bruno was playing really bad in those last games under Ten Hag where I said, look, if they bench Bruno, I can't complain. But I said, if Man United are going to succeed, Bruno will be part of that. Bruno Fernandes, one of those players that is our best player on his day. He is our best player. He hasn't been good under Ten Hag, but these last 4 games, Bruno Fernandes has shown why he's our best player. He's never the problem at Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes has never, ever been the problem at Manchester United. He's always been a top quality player, but he was out of form at the beginning of the season. People were trying to blame everything going wrong on him, which I felt was unfair. And I have to say, What a performance from Bruno Fernandes today. Absolutely brilliant. Never been the problem. Sometimes, yeah, he could be taken off if he's having a bad game. Could be benched here and there if he's having a bad game. But he's so key to everything good that we do, and he was key today. But I think Ugarte was definitely up there as a potential man of the match contender. Manuel Ugarte, 92% pass accuracy, 68 total touches, 12 tackles, 7 ball recoveries, 5 passes into the final third, 3 interceptions, 2 fouls and 1 big chance created. I thought Ugarte was running the show. I think Ugarte is getting the best out of Casemiro because Casemiro's legs have gone a bit. He can't be that number 6 that covers mass amounts of ground, but because he's playing next to Ugarte, it helps Casemiro look a little bit better, if I'm going to be honest. But I think today Ugarte was everywhere. 12 tackles. 12 tackles. Just he was like, he gave me Kante-esque performance, just winning back the ball, making the tackles, intercepting. When he got the ball, I thought his passes was good. He helped play a pass that resulted in one of the goals. He created a chance. 3 interceptions, 5 passes into the final third, but it was his winning back the ball. His desire when he hasn't got the ball to win it back was absolutely excellent today. And I think it was key to everything that went well for us today, if I'm going to be totally honest. This was more. Ugarte won 8 tackles against Leicester out of 12. Since data collection began, no Manchester United player has won more tackles in a Premier League game. Unreal ball winning performance. So it would have been 12 tackles attempted, but 8 of them that he won. He was fantastic. And these were some rough notes on Ugarte. Ugarte's game keeps reaching new levels with each appearance. I think every game he's played at United, he's got better. And I think he just needed time to warm up because he didn't play loads for PSG at the back end of the season. He didn't have a preseason. I think he needed games to warm up. Think in possession, he keeps it tidy, he keeps it straightforward. He's not the most beautiful player, he's not the most beautiful player on the ball, but he connects teammates. He worked really hard off the ball. He did what he needed to do. He disrupted the opposition's play. He was making tackles. He was giving a bit of a contest performance. He was helping the attackers. He was distributing it quickly but sensibly, but it was the defensive coverage he gives. And I think he was growing in confidence, and I think the pass to Garnacho was really good as well. His awareness, his precision, his everything was great today. But do you know what? Amad Diallo, I think when Amad Diallo plays, our attack is better. And I think that's because Amad brings an intensity, really looks to try and make something happen as well. I think with Amad Diallo, he's a different dynamic of winger, and he was keeping the ball, he's safe, and he had the intensity, desire to win it back, and every touch he did was beautiful, and he was so comfortable on the ball. Attempted 6 take-ons today. 5 out of 6 take-ons is unbelievably good. His ball retention was top today. 5 touches in the opposition's box, 4 shots, 3 tackles, 1, 2 fouls, 1 assist. He was fantastic. I said his forward play sets him apart from other wingers. I think there's a difference in terms of his creativity, his retention, his 1-2s, his intelligence and decision-making seems to be at the best of our wingers. I think he's been performing at high level at Sunderland. If you saw what he did at Sunderland in the half spaces, the way he operates, there was a fantastic player there. And I wish he got more minutes. I think it was crazy that was his first Premier League start since September. I don't know what Ten Hag was doing because we spent 100 million on Anthony when Amad was there. And I think the low centre of gravity, the way he uses his body to get around defenders, it did remind me of Saka in an extent. I think he's so technically good. But it was the work rate to close down the player to win the throw on, which then resulted in his assist and Bruno's goal for the first goal. Every time he loses the ball, he chases it. He rarely loses the ball. When he does lose the ball, he chases it. And he brought that intensity that game lacked. And if all the players had the same intensity than Amad did today, we would have won 6-7-0 because Leicester are crap. Mazraoui was unbelievable. That first half, Mazraoui inverting into midfield, going wide, his touches, his passing. This guy does not give the ball away. This guy's touch, his control, his ability to receive the ball at any angle, break the lines. This guy is a fantastically technically gifted player. He's so secure in possession. I think the technical levels of the squad has been brilliant. I think at left back, right back, he's done a job. He's been better than Diallo this season. I don't think he's had a bad game for United. Even like the Liverpool game, which was bad, I don't think Mazraoui was necessarily bad, and that was probably his worst game for us. I don't think he's been bad in any of his games. He had a few games where Man United haven't been good, but his technical security, he could play anywhere. I think, we got it. I think what a bargain, what a gem. And then I want to talk about Garnacho. I think Garnacho's athleticism was needed today. He came on, he brought the intensity, he made those runs, he looked to take on his fullback. It was frustrating me that Rashford wasn't doing that. Garnacho's not the finished article, but he's also 20 years of age. He's not going to be the finished article. I think he's someone that is better off the bench, and I think he's a good option to have off the bench. As a starter, I think we'd need some serious competition. Rashford isn't quite playing at his best, but I think if his minutes are managed and he manages to improve his ability to create separation from the defender, use his body and not give the ball away as much, and just improve improve those final decision making. I think there's a top player there. He's got more goals and assists than Mbappe this season. He's raw. He makes runs. He gets into the right areas. He's attacking minded. He likes to make things happen. We needed that today. And I think Garnacho is potential. He is the word potential. And if you can't see that potential, I don't know why. He's not the finished article. He does need to improve in a lot of areas, but there's a player there that is way too overhated, that's getting a pile on of hate from United fans at the moment, and it's just not necessary. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Bye.